Welcome to tonight's presentation of the Pro Basketball Association. If you want pro, you want the PBA.
A lot of storylines tonight in the regular season finale as we greet you this evening from the KBW Gymnasium in Columbus, Georgia, where the Train to Eat meet the Columbus, Georgia Vipers. Good evening, everybody. Greg Allen with you on the PBA by A&T Sports. We are in for a good one tonight. All kinds of storylines between these two clubs. We'll get into that as the game goes along. Let's set your starting lineups first for Train to Eat. It'll be Juwan Carpenter, Derek Walker, Jamal Harris, George Stanberry, and Reggie Horton. For the Vipers, Zytavian Hill, Cortez Cheney, Cornelius Thomas, Zach Williams, and Yermon Barnes. Those are your starters tonight between the Train to Eat and the Columbus, Georgia Vipers. Great to have you with us. This should be a good one, and more than likely a playoff preview possibility, as we'll see how those matchups go out and come together once we get there at the end of the month. We do know the Columbus, Georgia Vipers will be the number one seed for the 6-team tournament that gets underway with the semifinals starting on March the 28th, and the finals coming up on the 31st. Underway tonight from Columbus, Georgia. The Vipers in the black uniforms with blue trim, Train to Eat in the traditional home whites with the blue and black numbers and letters and trim. Thrilled to bring this one to you. A lot of good talent on the floor tonight. Two of the better teams the entire regular season. In fact, the Vipers the best, undefeated so far, and a large part because of that guy, Cortez Cheney, rather. He missed the opening shot, but the rebound put back, and the Vipers lead by a 2-0 count. Here comes the Train to Eat. That first basket from Yermon Barnes. A lot to discuss as we unfold tonight here from Georgia. This will be the site of the postseason. That three is off the mark from Reggie Horton. Able to save it for a moment and get it to Derek Walker. Down the lane with a finger roll. That circles around and falls in for Juwan Carpenter. Product out of Nashville, Tennessee. And we're dead even at 2-all. Happy to have you aboard for the ride tonight. Down low in the post. Turnaround jumper. That's blocked. And the Train to Eat come back with it. In trouble, Carpenter able to get rid of it. And that pass may hit the backside of the window, and it belongs to the Columbus, Georgia Vipers. 9-0 for Columbus, Georgia. Train to Eat 6-2. This is a Southeast Divisional matchup. I'll Train to Eat out of the Mid-Atlantic Division, however. And the Vipers come in as the defending league champs, off of last summer's 116-110 win over the PNW Vets in the PBA national title game. And a run-out layup by George Stanberry. We will talk at length about him tonight. One of the best players in the league, along with Cortez Cheney. We've got two of the premier players hooking up tonight. Two of the premier teams hooking up tonight. And the Eaters on top 4-2. Nice dump down low. Cheney on the doorstep, can't finish, but a rebound. Flip one up with the left hand. That doesn't fall either. And Train to Eat back with it. They've got numbers in a 4-on-2. Stanberry open from perimeter. This guy can fill it up, but he'll miss that one. And the rebound comes down to Yermon Barnes. Straightaway jumper doesn't fall, and Stanberry with a one-hand rebound. Carpenter the other way into the front court will slow it up. Train to Eat, penetrate and dish. Always a good recipe, and the rainbow three is good for a 7-2 lead early on. Train to Eat, connect from distance. Reggie Horton nailed that three ball. This is Cheney on the move through traffic and a great dump down pass himself for an easy bucket on the interior. And that makes it 7-4. Stanberry for 3. That's off the mark. Cheney rebounds that miss. First quarter from Columbus, Georgia. Cheney pull-up jumper, still looking for his first points. They don't come on that shot, not to say they won't come on this trip. Vipers unbeaten at 9-0. And Cheney drills a side pocket 3. That ties us at 7-0 in the first. Carpenter threw a ton of traffic out into the corner. And back to Carpenter. Great dump down pass underneath. That was pretty. Jawan Carpenter's got 4. Good energy, good pace in this one on a 9-7 lead for the Train to Eat. Cheney had it knocked out of his hands but got the ball back. Flipped up and put in right in the center of the paint. 9-9 in this one. And a turnover. Zytavian Hill scored that last trip down for the Columbus, Georgia Vipers. He'll receive the inbound. Central Talbotton High School. Boy, a lot to talk about as far as regular season accolades between these two high-potented and high-talented teams. Cheney led his group to the title in the summer season. Off the mark there. Columbus, Georgia Vipers. They defeated the River Region Generals in the 2022-23 winter season Southeast Division Finals. They'll be the number 1 seed for the upcoming postseason when the Sensational Six are set to take place here on the 28th of March. Stanberry, tight quarters on a give-up. Walker underneath, went up, came down, and got called for traveling. Well, the Vipers on a mission this year at 9-0. And after winning it all last year, Cornelius Thomas had 28 in the championship. Alquan Mendenhall 23. Cheney had 13 in the win over the PNW Vets. They won it by 6. That's off the mark. Rebound to Carpenter. They made it their mission this year. They wanted to end the regular season undefeated. They're a win away from that. Carpenter rebounds that missed 3, forces it up through traffic, doesn't go, and the rebound down to Anthony Daniels. A win tonight would put them at 10-0. A regular season finale for each. These two just met on the 24th of February. Vipers obviously won it 110-89. This is just their second meeting of the year, and timeout mid-first quarter, leveled at 9 here in Georgia. Viper basketball back to work first quarter. Again, they stated before the season they wanted to go undefeated and then go on to play for back-to-back championships. They are the only undefeated team in the league coming into today. Again, their regular season finale. Stanberry, he would like to have a whole different decision come out tonight. That side pocket 3 by Tarek Wright falls, and it's now 12-9, Train to Eat. And a whistle before that Cheney shot. Now, George Stanberry and Cortez Cheney take the court together for the second time this year. Second time in really almost 10 days. Two losses for Train to Eat, the other to the Lancaster Thunder. There's a straightaway 3 from John Tavis Miles that doesn't go. Product out of Kendrick High School. Loose basketball the other way, picked up by Derek Walker. Stanberry says, swing it my way. Instead, they'll turn it over in the corner. Train to Eat's only other loss 3 days before Valentine's Day by 10 to the Thunder, 89-79. That one hung on rim, fell off. Walker rebounds that outlet. Stanberry pulled up, lost the ball. Turnover and a 3-on-1 the other way. And the one, Walker broke up the cross-court feed. Now numbers for the Train to eat, and they'll finish on the interior to extend the lead to 14-9. And with that, timeout. A 5-point lead mid-first quarter for Train to eat. Greg Allen back with you inside the Kenneth B. Walker Gymnasium in Columbus, Georgia. Always fun to see the Columbus, Georgia Vipers. One of my first looks at them this year, but I know what they're all about. Seen them before. There's a nice take from your mom Barnes, who's got now 4, and that makes it 14-11. Saw the Train to eat earlier this season in a game here on the PBA by A&T Sports, bringing you the call. Stanberry, step back, off the mark. Stanberry's not gotten off to the kind of start he wanted. Outlet for the Vipers, and here they come down 3. To the rack hard. Barnes, no, couldn't finish, but lots of contact and a foul coming with it. Now you talk about two guys that can absolutely fill it up in George Stanberry and Cortez Chaney. Stanberry has gone for 57 in a game this year. That was in the second game of the season against the PA Lightning. He had 57 and scored almost a third of the club's points. That tells you how many they had. Barnes able to connect at the line. That was a 154-117 win. That's incredible. 2-for-2 trip for Barnes, who's got 6. That makes it a 1-penny lead for the Train to eat in the first. Stanberry scored 44 in the season opening win over the Dothan Snipers, 57 in Game 2, 43 in Game 3 against the Lancaster Thunder. And here is Stanberry, top of the arc. In and out, no good. Put back on the doorstep, falls off for Zayante Carr. But a backcourt steal. And Train to eat, get it back. Quick 3 from right. Empty on that trip. Vipers able to reclaim the basketball, down 1. Coming up on 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Chaney looks inside, has an open man and a cut. Good play to Cam Paulding, who will lay it in. He's got his first 2, and the Vipers in front 15-14 here in Columbus. Train to eat out of Nashville, Tennessee. Chaney with the takeaway on the sideline and could not stay in bounds or may have got fouled. Probably the latter rather than the former. Chaney scored 39 in a game on January 7th against the River Region Generals. He's had games of 30, 24, and 22 to open up the year in their first 3 games of the campaign. So both these teams feature electric individual players and all kinds of accolades for a number of the players on both these rosters as we get down late in the end of the regular season. Zytavian Hill missed that shot. The other way, quick take on Chaney and scoring, wanting a foul, didn't get it. But the basket is good. We quickly go the other way, and John Tavis Miles scores. So he answers the hoop at the other end, and it's 17-16 Vipers. Stanberry on the dribble pull-up. Can't find the range here in the early going. A struggling first quarter for one of the league's best players. And meanwhile, at the other end, another drilled 3 for the Vipers, who now have a 4-point lead. The final minute of the first, 20-16. Loose change in the paint. Well, no call, wow. This is Zayante Carr. He'll go hard to the hole on a foul coming up. So the Vipers gearing up for another playoff run. They'll come off the 1 line in the bracket featuring the sensational 6. It gets underway March 28th, wraps up with the title game the 31st for this winter campaign. It's also part of All-Star Weekend. The All-Star Game is the day before the championship on the 30th of this month. Carr at the line for one more. Vipers. We're going to head up 2 after the free throw exchange. Trying to power his way to the basket. No good for Paulding. The ball ends up out of bounds, and the official decides to go with Train to Eat. Again, just the second meeting of the year between these two. And lots of contact before the inbound and maybe a timeout to rescue the play. I think that's what we've got with just under 30 seconds to go in a 2-point first quarter. We're late. And so Train to Eat will have it when we come back. Yeah. 2018 bad inbound turns into a turnover. And easy points for Cytavian Hill after the miss by Miles, who blew a wide open layup. But Hill converts, he's got 4 and kind of gift points for the Vipers. That one's off Columbus, Georgia, though. And it's 22-18. Boy, that inbound did not go the way Train to Eat had intended. Had to use a timeout, still turned it over. Carr to Stanberry. The Vipers have held Stanberry to 2 points in the first. Final seconds of the period. Hill. Euro step. And the finish for Cytavian Hill, who's got 6. And the Vipers finish the quarter with a 6-point lead, 24-18. A 9-2 run to cap the period. Strong finish to the first for the hometown Columbus, Georgia group. Jamal Hill takes the inbound to start, stands at 2. Glad you're with us here on the PBA by A&T Sports. Greg Allen bringing you the call from the KB Walker Gymnasium. That 3 is on the mark for Train to Eat. Tarek Wright with his second. And at the other end, Cheney able to answer. (27-21). Wright lost it on a bad pass, taken away by the Vipers. Run out layup, Hill couldn't finish, and the ball ends up out of bounds. We'll see who they give it to. Well, Tarek Wright has hit 2 threes in the game. He is part of the 3-point contest as part of All-Star Weekend at the end of March, right back here in Columbus. So a bit of a tune-up effort for him for the festivities coming up on the 30th. We talked about a lot of the regular season accolades and some of the all-star entrants from both these clubs. They will be highly represented. Obviously, this guy right here, George Stanberry, part of that. Step back, fake 3, but Cheney took it away in a bad pass. He'll pull up. He'll miss. Short. Train to Eat with nobody defending that layup from Jamal Hill. And that makes it now 27-23. 4-point game here in Georgia. Jawan Carpenter, 0 in white defending on ball. He's part of the dunk competition. That little finger roll doesn't go but a foul. Stanberry's part of the 3-point competition. To the line, Cam Paulding. For the Vipers, Cytavian Hill. He will represent Columbus, Georgia in the dunk contest and the skills competition. Cheney's part of the 3-point contest and the mid-range jumper contest. Cornelius Thomas, part of the mid-range jumper contest. Jalen Brown, dunk competition, skills competition. Dre Brown, skills competition, three-point contest. And also for the three-point contest, Trey Jackson, Alquan Mendenhall, and Anthony Daniels, all off the Vipers. Paulding misses a pair, but right there for the rebound, Jalen Brown. He should have dunked it in. He's got two, and it's 26-18. Carpenter the other way. Here's Mr. Three Ball. Missed that one, though. Strong rebound for the Columbus, Georgia group. Little pull-up left hand. That's Zitavian Hill. No, the follow, though, is good for Paulding. He's got four, and the Vipers pulling away. They've opened up the first double-digit, check that, 8-point lead. Bump. Cheney draws a foul. So a lot of these guys will be right back here at the end of this month. I mean, obviously they'll be here for postseason basketball, but as far as the All-Star festivities, they'll represent their clubs in that too. That was Alquan Mendenhall. That went to the basket and got fouled. (29-23) Vipers in the second. They led 24-18 at the end of one. Alquan Mendenhall, along with part of the three-point contest. He was also recently named All PBA second team. The league unveiling those honors here late in the regular season. This the regular season finale for both. You see the score, you see the time in the second. They keep it on the table here at the KBW gym. Zach Williams returns for the Vipers. 0 for 2 at the line. Walker with the rebound for Train to Eat. It's been a bit of a cold quarter for Train to Eat. It's been a cold game for this guy. Stanberry lost the handle, but his team continues with possession. Carpenter across the baseline. Maybe this one can get Stanberry unlocked. Not yet. And a great feed from Cheney. And even the intended target telling him, hey, that's my fault. That's Mendenhall. Well, Train to Eat needs to get Stanberry going. There's no doubt about that. I'll go to the free throw line here with Carpenter. Stanberry, 44 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists in a game against Dothan. 57 against the Lightning. He's all PBA first team, as is this guy at the line, Jawan Carpenter. Derek Walker, 7 in white. You see him right there, left side of the screen, all PBA second team. And Jamal Harris and Reggie Horton, all PBA third team, all for Train to Eat. For a 6-2 group out of Nashville, Tennessee. And Carpenter goes 1 of 2. He's got 5 on the day. Cuts the margin to as many. 29-24, second quarter. 2:40 into the second. Cornelius Thomas will finish for 2. And he's part of that mid-range jumper competition. Good tune-up there for him. Stanberry just ushered out of bounds, and they do call a foul. You've got Cortez Cheney and Zitavian Hill as all PBA first teamers for the Vipers. All PBA second teamers include Yermon Barnes, Alquan Mendenhall, Anthony Daniels. And all PBA third team. Nobody for the Vipers fell into that category. It's all just first-teamers or second-teamers. Unbeaten at 9-0, trying to finish the regular season at a perfect 10-0 mark. That three is short. Rebound volleyed around. That one, though, connects from Mendenhall. Ten-point margin at 34-24. Stanberry out of the corner has scored 2 on the day. He and Carpenter play catch, and Carpenter tries to finger roll one home. Mystic, but got his own rebound loose in the paint. Vipers have it, and they've got nobody out in front defensively to play against Hill. Jackhammers one home. He's got 8.
Yeah, because I turned the camera when the whistle blew.
And the lead is 12 at 36-24. And there may have been a technical called behind the play when all that was going on. And Mendenhall will go to the line. He now has 4. The lead is 13 at 37-24. It's been a 13-6 quarter in favor of the Vipers. And George Stanberry, one of the league's top players, has scored 2 points in this game. Walker ends up with a loose basketball and powers it home. That guy is a force on the inside. 37-26. Thomas on a lob. Trying to feed down low. Catching the paint, pull-up jumper solid for Cornelius Thomas. 38-26. Make it 39-26, check that. Stanberry, finally. He doesn't need a whole lot of space. Still off an account. 40-29 is where we sit. Williams on a give up. Hill rebounds the missed 3, fade away from 13. Yes. Zytavian Hill. 10-point ball game. 42-29 Vipers. Stanberry comes the other way. Defended hard and fouled by Hill. Well, the Columbus, Georgia Vipers come in as the reigning summer national champs. And the league announcing recently that will be all this league will be going forward. They are going to revert back to their original format. As Stanberry flips in 2. He's got 7. And go back to a summer-only league, doing away with the winter season, starting with this upcoming 2024 summer campaign. So they'll no longer have those sort of 2 seasons within each calendar year-ish. Turnover Vipers, little sloppy play, leaves Stanberry wide open for 3. Still just cannot get it dialed in from distance. Nice ball fake in a backcourt. Stanberry went down defensively. Thomas ends up with a rock, and here's Zytavian Hill open from 3. No. Stanberry rebounds that. That announcement made recently by the PBA by A&T Sports. They're going back to just a summer-only league. Doing away with this winter campaign that they've played a number of years. And a timeout just beyond midway through the first. 42-31 Vipers. Trained to eat. Stanbury's got 7. He's the club's leading scorer. Errant there, and a rebound down to Paulding. The other way comes Anthony Daniels. No and no whistle, but a loose basketball picked up, missed twice, point blank by Thomas. Finally able to connect. Daniels with his first 2, and it's 44-31. Another near turnover by Train to Eat, but Carpenter rescues the play to Walker down low on the doorstep. 11-point margin, under 3 to go in the second. Left of the lane, Anthony Daniels. Now back up to the foul line. Hill, pressured by Stanbury, got rid of it. Nope, that wasn't Stanbury. Check it. Defensively, that was Reggie Horton. Vipers empty on that trip. Carpenter in a hurry. Open. Again, Horton from 3. That would have been big. Nobody went to get the rebound. Carpenter went in, got it blocked. All right, 3 guys in black shirts all just stood there, and Carpenter got an easy rebound on the interior. Hill shut off coming into the paint. Vipers lose it again. Carpenter with a runaway and a finish. 7 for Carpenter. 44-35. Coming up on 2 minutes to go in the half. That was a near turnover right there in front of the official as Hill ran into a teammate nearly. And then coming into the lane, we get a whistle. Yeah, so the league announcing they will do away with the winter campaign. They'll go back to just having and being a summer-only league. That will start with this next coming summer season. After this winter campaign here, 2023-4 wraps up at the end of this month. With under 2 minutes to go in the half, Vipers hoping to go into that summer season as back-to-back league champs. There's a 3 from the left wing, 47-35. Walker trying to do his work down low on a kick out. Lead is 12. Stays that way after that Walker miss, and a rebound to Zach Williams. Vipers 9-0, going for another 3. That one doesn't fall. Zayante Carr grabbed the rebound. Here's Stanbury. That's Carpenter on the take to the rim. He's got 9. Cuts it back to 10 at 47-37. Cheney right in front of you. Led his club to a 110-89 win over this Train to Eat ball club. There's another 3 out of the corner for the Columbus, Georgia Vipers, and the lead is 13 at 50-37. That win over Train to Eat came on February 24th. Stanbury tries to drive through traffic and fouled by Zach Williams. And they will not give him free throws. It'll be inbound, out of bounds, baseline for the group out of Nashville. Vipers won that Summer League title this past summer season over the PNW Vets. Now looks like they've changed their minds and said, hey, he was in the act, so put Stanbury at the line. They made it a clean sweep this year. 4 wins over the River Region Generals. Well, Stanbury misses the line, too. He's out of the Nashville, Tennessee area, went to Volunteer State. And makes 1 of 2. He's got 8. 12-point game. Cheney. Tied up, got rid of it. Coming hard down the lane, able to finish inside. Final 1/4 of a minute here in the second. A 14-point lead for the hometown Vipers. Jawan Carpenter went to Triton Junior College. He's also out of Nashville. Got rid of it. Horton. And a foul on perimeter or timeout. Nope, end of half. Ran out of time, and that's it to the break at 52-38. Trained to Eat didn't know where the clock was and how much was left on it.
Hey, I don't have to worry about it. I'm going for it.
Shoots a three, and bangs it in at the buzzer. One-ranked Kristen Pierce with the alley-oop. Another pass by Christian. Nice behind the back. Get it to Miller. He shoots a three. She's right at the rim of the three-point line.
Second quarter goes 28-20 in favor of the Columbus, Georgia Vipers. And they start the third with the rock. Cheney on a pull-up. Yes. And the other way, good on the take to the basket. He'll miss a turnaround. Ball into the hands of Carpenter. It was Stanberry with the layup at the other end. And Carpenter forces through traffic. And the Vipers will be the #1 seed for those playoffs coming up. 6 teams head here late March. Talking about becoming a summer-only league going forward, starting with this upcoming summer campaign. Had a number of newly added teams for this year, this 23-4 winter campaign, including the Nova Bulls out of Virginia, the PA Lightning out of Connellsville, Pennsylvania, the Mississippi Raptors, who right now are the #2 team in the Southeast Division. Carpenter goes 1 of 2. He's got 10. And the DC Crank out of Capitol Heights, Maryland. Those are the new teams that entered the league this past winter campaign. There's a nice open jumper, Your Mom Barnes. And maintaining that double-digit lead at 57-41. The Vipers by 16. They led by 6 at the end of one. They outscored Trained to Eat by 8 in the second. We played a minute and 1/4 of this third. Stanberry and Cheney matched up against each other. Now the Vipers switch defensively, and it's Your Mom Barnes defending on ball. And it goes back to the Columbus, Georgia Vipers. Trained to Eat coming in 6-2. But both their losses coming recently. They opened up the season with 5 consecutive wins after they beat the Lancaster Thunder for the final game of the 2023 calendar portion of the year, and have gone 1-2 since. 3-ball top of the arc, no Carpenter cleans it. Trained to Eat, trying to get back in this thing. That would help. Doesn't go. But an offensive board for Carpenter. It turns around right to the rim and scores. He's got a does. And that cuts it to 14. A lot of work to do, though, for the guys out of Nashville, and a tough team to do it against an unbeaten Viper squad. The defending league champs. Big money ball. Tarek Wright, he hit 2 earlier in the first quarter, couldn't connect there, but it's saved back to Wright. He'll chuck again, miss. Walker, though, he'll put it up and off the mark. Hill with a drop off to Cheney, and he didn't want to pull the trigger. Then he'll hit in the paint. Cortez Cheney with a smart play. He's got 11. It's 59-43 Vipers. They try to pick Stanberry's pocket on a double team up top. Carpenter to the corner. They cycled around. Not a lot of off-ball movement from Train to Eat. You see a lot of guys just kind of hugging the perimeter and waiting for passes. This is Williams. That's off the mark. Rebound tipped, and Carpenter secures that. It's 59-45 out of the corner for Stanberry. Yes, finally dials up another one. He's got 13. He is a guy that, again, we talked about his potential of outpouring of points. It's not going to be explosively flashy. I've noticed that out of him. He'll have games where he goes for 40, Cheney with a miss and Carpenter with the rebound. And if it's possible to have a quiet 40, you're like, oh, he had 40 at the end of the game. All right. Now, he's no doubt their leader. And he can fill it up. Again, 57 in the game this year. And right now, Train to Eat just not effective enough from the floor and not getting back on defense on that lane at the other end. And there's Stanberry again from distance. 16 all of a sudden. Talked about his quiet game. And now he's got 16, and a foul will put the Vipers at the line. Columbus, Georgia up 10 with just over half the third quarter still left to go. Cornelius Thomas able to add one more at the line. An 11-point ball game, trying to make it 12. Thomas with 6. Vipers doing a good job to hound Stanberry, but all of a sudden he's taken over here in this third. He's at a couple of threes. He drives there and makes it again a 10-point game at 63-53. Need defensive stops, though. That one, you're just lucky it didn't fall in if you're the Train to Eat, as your Mount Barnes just had it right there on the rim and it spun out. And now Stanberry all the way to the hole, and his end result is the same, but he was fouled. This can cut it to single digits. Train to Eat has not been in that territory as that first one goes. since it was 31-24. Stanberry's got 20. At 63-54, halfway through the third. Well, they put that last free throw up late on the board. You saw it there, 63-55. We're in the third. Greg Allen with you on the PBA by A&T Sports. Vipers trying to go unbeaten in this 2023-24 winter season as the calendars turn to March, and that means playoff time in the PBA at the end of the month. All-Star game on March 30th. High off window and in. And that guy's been a force all day. Zytavian Hill, 14 points, all PBA first teamer. Back to a 10-point game, 65-55. Coming up on 4 minutes to go in the third. Out of the corner, big three ball. Doesn't fall, and Hill rebounds that. Vipers with numbers, and they want to run it a 4-on-3. Jailbreak, and it's tipped out of bounds. Nice defense by the Eaters, who got back to break up that onslaught. Cornelius Thomas will trigger. Looks long, leads long, and a long two ball off the mark. Cam Paulding couldn't finish. 2 on nobody the other way. Cheney, did he get that clean? He did. Now a technical foul delivered to Zayante Carr after he complained about the lack of foul on the blocked dunk. That was 2 on nobody. And Cortez Cheney got back to get a hand in there and break it up. And right back to the line, Cornelius Thomas. Thomas has now 7. That makes the margin 11. Carr still pleading his case to the official, and he better. It appears to be a fairly cordial conversation at this point, but it only goes so far. Just under 4 minutes remaining in the third. It was 52-38 at the half. Now the Columbus, Georgia Vipers, their point total per game has just been absolutely off the charts. They have scored triple digits in all but one of their 9 games this year. And that was a 99-84 win on the 21st of January against the Dothan Snipers. Everything else, they've hung over the century mark in each of their other 8 games. The one they didn't, 99. High screen from Paulding. Uses it twice, got it back. Paulding on the interior, couldn't finish. And Walker with the rebound at a 2-on-1 the other way, and a give to the trailer left wing. Good with the lay-in. Stanberry's got 22. Cuts it back to single digits for the moment. Tipped up a number of times, still volleyed around. Hot potato time in Columbus. Stanberry on an uncontested run-out layup. 2 dozen for George Stanberry, who had 2 in the first quarter. It's 66-59. The closest Train to Eat's been in a while. Wild 3 by Cheney doesn't go, but the offensive rebound turns into a Thomas lane. He's got 9. 68-59. 3-minute mark, third quarter. Lob in the post. Cheney on defense. Swung wildly. Lucky not to get a foul called. Stanberry pull up. He's feeling it lately. Misses elbow jumper. And another good offensive rebound. And a great spin move by Carpenter to free him up for a pass to Stanberry. Couldn't dial it in from 3. And Thomas and Carpenter come together for the rebound. It's out of bounds. They'll give it to Train to Eat. 68-59. Big three, no off the mark. This time rebound to the Vipers. They'll hold on to it and bring it ahead. Paulding calling for a lob. Got the catch on the doorstep. Able to hit. Paulding with 6. And the foul to go with it. Or is it? And they call the foul before the basket. No points for Cam Paulding, who sticks with 4. Trying to get him back, though. Couldn't finish that time. Rebound to the wing. Still live and in play, and just barely saved from even going back court. Cheney pull up right of the paint. No, but a whistle. Now Paulding robbed of those points. He's an interesting story. He got married just before the season got underway, late October. And the season for the Vipers got underway November 11th in a 120-77 win over the River Region Generals. So Cam Paulding, congratulations on the relatively still yet new nuptials. Here's Cheney on the move. Good closeout from 3 and a good, better block effort there defensively by the Train to Eat. This is Stanberry, flip of the left hand, no. Follow is good for Zayante Carr, who's got 4. And it's a 7-point game. Vipers miss a couple on the interior. Cheney misses another. Walker rebounds that. Train to Eat with a good close to the third. With a minute 15 to go. That was a bit of a wild shot that time from Jamal Harris. 3-on-4-on-2 and a kick to the corner and drilled for Alquan Mendenhall from distance, who's got 7. That was a big shot for the Vipers to put them back up by 10 late in the third at 71-61 in their home building in their quest for a perfect season, heading as the number 1 seed of the playoffs. Stanberry, tough angled shot. Carr is fouled. Free throws for Zayante Carr. Still a 10-point game. Late third. Carr's got 5. Cheney and the Vipers. Stripped out of his hands. They may have just lost it. Came right to a teammate, though. In and out, no good, and Carr cleans the miss from John Tavis Miles. Big 3 here won't fall. The Vipers get the ball underneath with Paulding. Third quarter winding down. Paulding able to throw it down. 73-62 Vipers in a backcourt takeaway by Miles. Miles trying to play beat the clock, and they're going to count that to make it 75-62 to the fourth. Vipers in front. Fourth quarter, Train to Eat right to the rack of the basketball, and Stanberry gets fouled. 2 free throws coming up to begin the period. Well, a questionable call to count that basket at the end of the third. They declare it good. One more for Stanberry. $75-63. And Stanberry with 25. There's Miles. Lob down low to Cheney, who'll finish and fouled. Good pass from the Kendrick High School product in Jontavis Miles. He once scored 40 points and had 12 assists in an ABA game in 2021. Cheney trying to add on to right now a 13-point game for him. And it makes it 78-63. Not even a minute gone by in the fourth. Harris dumps it in the corner. They go to the block. And a hold on the floor. Foul called against the Vipers defending Zayante Carr. He tucks that long hair into the back of his jersey. Vipers reach in, foul called, defending Stanberry. So the Vipers trying to make it back-to-back titles. They'll have a chance coming up at the end of the month here in their own building. '28th of March, we'll put together the championship pairings on the 31st. Walker can't finish, but Carpenter with the offensive board work. No, he traveled. It'll be Viper ball. But this Train to Eat group at 6-2 right now, getting their second look at a team they just lost to on February 24th by 21, 110-89 that day. They're down 15 here. They'll have something to say about that out of the Mid-Atlantic Division. TTE gets the ball back, but then throws it away right back to Columbus, Georgia. A little bit sloppy to open the fourth. Jontavis Miles checks out. Cheney will bring it ahead. Cheney just missed a triple-double on December 2nd in a 130-103 win over the Mississippi Raptors. He had 24 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. Missed it by an assist. Good from the elbow. Cheney's got 16. It's 80-63. Walker down on the block. Good pass underneath. Good find to Reggie Horton, who's got 5. 80-65, fourth quarter. There's a nice basket as well. I checked that. That wasn't Reggie Horton. That was Jamal Harris on the basket. And then Train to Eat. 80-67. Step back, long three. Short. Walker follow once. No. Second time just muscles his way in. Paulding the swipe. And the foul will put Walker on the line. So no more winter seasons for the PBA. They'll go back to just summers only. That 2024 summer campaign will get underway. 82-66. One more Walker foul shot. Well, anything can happen in the playoffs. All you got to do is get there. There's no question the Vipers will be a handful to deal with. They knocked this one out of bounds themselves, and despite the missed free throw by Walker, Train to Eat gets it back. 82-66, trailing by 16. This closes out the regular season for both these clubs. Stanberry on the sideline try to throw it off of Viper and Thomas. And I think they're going to say he was successful. Yeah. So Train to Eat gets the ball back. Carpenter got the screen from Walker, and nobody picked him up on the help side defense, and Carpenter goes right to the rim and lays it in. So back to a 14-point ball game. Vipers in front with the rock. Approaching 7 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. And another foul against Train to Eat. Third quarter was 24-23 in favor of Train to Eat. It was 24-18 at the end of one, Vipers, 52-38 at the half, Columbus, Georgia, and then 75-62 to the fourth. Hill with the long inbound to Cheney. He'll take the long three. Train to Eat can cut into a 14-point deficit, and right on the rim from Zayante Carr from the right wing, uncontested, makes the margin 12, 82-70. Plenty of time left, and another Viper turnover. One-on-one the other way. We'll see what Carpenter can do, but Hill gets back. Open three. Stanbury, big one, rimming off, no good. Offensive rebound tracked down and kept in the half-court offense for Train to Eat. Carr on the run. Contact? Yes. Foul. Put him on the line. Well, Train to Eat has forced the issue on the interior a little more lately, but able to get to the free throw line. They've been so-so when they've gotten there. And we will get a fourth quarter stoppage with just under 7 minutes to go. Zayante Carr, 7-point ball game at the line for two. And that's part of the so-so performance at the line for the Train to Eat. They've left some on the table at the stripe. Carr trying to get one out of this. And makes the margin 11. He's got 8. Two of the teams that have had better seasons this year in the PBA by A&T Sports, closing out the regular season head-to-head. Possible playoff preview. Cheney out of the corner in his own building. Got it. Cheney with 19. And a little more breathing room for the Vipers at 85-71. Three ball doesn't fall, and underneath we've got problems against the Eaters. It's a foul that will give the ball back to the Vipers. Here comes Zytavian Hill. Stutter step move, then a spin on Walker, then a great pass to Cheney. What a play, and what a skill set for Zytavian Hill. One of the best assists on the night, 87-71. That three is good at the other end from Reggie Horton, who's got 6. And they needed that in a big way. Thomas, a little bit of a mini pump fake. He tried to dump it down in the interior. And we've got whistles with Paulding on the catch. Well, Cheney, after that basket, has 21. Back to Train to Eat. Under 6 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Stanbury gives it up. Walker posting inside. Ends up setting a de facto screen. Pass back to the point. Taken away. Uncontested Thomas. (89-74), 5.5 just under remaining in the fourth. And the Vipers looking like they will close out exactly what they set out to do at the start of this regular season before Game 1 on November 11th. Play an undefeated regular season in search of back-to-back league titles. They are 5-17 away and up 15 from a 10-0 regular season. The number 1 seed in the playoffs coming up at the end of the month. They'll get the postseason here in this building in their home gym. Carpenter's got 17 as he connects. 14-point differential. They've kind of become the model program in the PBA, the Columbus, Georgia Vipers. A well-run organization, obviously successful. A high-profile player in Cortez Chaney. And a lot of nice pieces around him, too. Nice lob at a post. Good catch. Couldn't finish Paulding, but Chaney does. He'll clean up the mess. He's got 23. (91-76). And a foul on Chaney against Stanberry. Talking about other pieces for the Vipers, Yermon Barnes tonight has scored 8, all PBA second teamer. We'll talk more about him after the stoppage with just under 5 minutes to go. It's 91-76 Vipers. Stanberry at the line with 25 points tonight. Cortez Chaney the other way with 23. Respective leaders for both clubs. Stanberry adds one more. He's got 26. Makes it 91-77 in a 14-point game. Train to Eat not out of this yet with over 5 minutes to go. It's 91-78, 27 for Stanberry. They've got to do a better job of the defensive end. We told you in every game but one, the Vipers have gone for triple digits. They'll get there tonight more than likely. That'll certainly help. 94-78. Now almost academic to get there. Good give up to Horton from Stanberry, trying to answer that triple but can't. And the rebound knocked out of bounds by Walker. But Yermon Barnes, he had a 27-point ball game. 4th game of the year against the River Region Generals, went for 17 rebounds. Had 4 assists in that game to put the Vipers at a 4-0 start. Chaney adds 2 more. He's got 25. And the Stars are doing what they have done most of the year. Stanberry and Chaney. Pass in the paint, deflected to the wing. Vipers take it away and a turnover. Train to Eat. That was an ill-advised lob pass into the front court. Walker had a path to the basket and instead opted for the 3. Now he'll take it himself, go up, and travel. Probably should have shot it the first time, but knowing they're down by nearly 20, you can understand the decision to kick it back out. Zytavian Hill the other way. Nice ball fake on the 3 and a pull-up baseline jumper, but couldn't hit. Thomas one-hands the rebound, good. And that's some of those pieces around Cortez Chaney, guys like Cornelius Thomas. And it's a 98-78 affair. Horton misses a 3. Here's another guy in Zytavian Hill, like him a lot. And there's a great reason on the reverse lay-in through traffic. A sculptured individual. And now Train to Eat. Just throwing it away. Thomas, Aaron on the 3. It's opened up here in the 4th quarter. That one good. Mendenhall to the corner. Paulding. No, but Hill the follow with one hand in midair. He's got 18. Boy, what a game he's had. And there's your 100 mark at 100-81. 2 guys out defending Stanberry. Finally goes around him and lays it in for 32. Hill again in the front court. And it's all Vipers in this one. The kick out, the Mendenhall 3, yes. Boy, just too good in too many places. You've got Mendenhall, Thomas, Cheney, Hill, all double figures tonight. With under 2 minutes to go in a 105-83 game, 22-point differential. Trying to figure out who's at the free throw line and what they're doing. Stanbury's got 33. And now it's going to be Jawan Carpenter. To take the free throws off the play in which a foul was called. He's got 18 tonight. We haven't really talked a lot actually, we haven't talked at all. 105-85. It's not a deep train to eat club. Only 7 guys on the roster. But they do a good job of not playing like there's only 7 guys. It doesn't feel like that. It's one of the few teams I've seen this year where I don't spend time talking about, not trying to save minutes, but worrying about up-tempo games and energy level and that kind of stuff. Stanbury, ball fake on a 3, shed one guy and connects. And life's a lot different when you're making shots. I get it like that right there from Stanbury, 105-88. But it's a much deeper Viper roster. Turnaround wouldn't fall. Cheney, no, that's not Cheney in the corner, fighting for the rebound. Picked up, turnaround jumper by Miles. That's off the mark. Rebound by Train to Eat. They'll get it up floor. A drop-off pass that was a little sloppy and turned over the other way. Vipers on a kick. Miles on a 3. Money. He's got 5. But Train to Eat, they're a good ball club. Minute to go, 4th quarter. Nice pass to Walker, who'll finish. But I don't feel like Train to Eat is one of those ball clubs, despite just 7 guys, they've got to worry about fresh legs and resting guys. They've got a good motor. Off the mark with that 3. They'll pick it up before it goes out. And the Vipers closing this one out at home. 3 more from the corner won't go. And it'll be Train to Eat basketball to inbound. Final seconds of this one. Zaitavian Hill and the Columbus, Georgia Vipers. A 3 for Hill for 21 to cap it. And the Columbus, Georgia Vipers accomplished their goal of an unbeaten regular season. 10-0 after a 110-89 win over the Train to Eat. Train to Eat finishes the regular season 6-3, and it's on to the postseason late in March. Greg Allen saying so long from the KBW Gym in Columbus, Georgia. Have a good night, everybody.